Well, hello, aficionados of the Great War. Welcome back to End All Wars, our Central Powers campaign. So, guys, we've been doing a lot of work here in Belgium over the last few days, or the last few weeks, really, trying to take over the country entirely. And so far, we seem to be doing pretty well. But I think we actually need to stay in Bruges for a bit, rebuild our forces just a little bit. As you can see, we have a lot of men in this region, and that's going to require us to really take care of these guys and take care of them well. I'd actually like some land bombardment. No, let's stop the land bombardment. We don't want to destroy the territory here. I'm just kidding. But we did drop off, actually, some interesting stuff. One thing I'm going to do is build a depot, which is very important in this region. And I'm going to actually try to build a depot near Max von Bülow as well. But I think that there actually already is a depot in this area. So there's not really much we can do. With Max von Hausen, I'm just going to be very careful. I'm actually going to... No, I'm not going to mix those two together. Let's see what happens if we do. 43% penalty, so that's definitely not good. Let's actually take Hans von Biesler and just some of the not-so-great generals. I don't want to say not-so-great, because von Biesler's fine, but he's just not one I'm particularly crazy about. And actually, it's probably a good idea to make two different armies here. We'll give them a medium artillery regiment as well. 32% penalty. I can kind of live with a 32% penalty, but obviously, you know, it's better to get that down. But I think this is pretty much acceptable. At this point, we're just waiting for munitions. We actually have a few munitions in this region of Brussels, so I'm actually going to take Max von Hausen and send him to Brussels for him to really start, well, I guess you could say, rebuilding this army, while we have this other army hang out here and basically just defend this area. Now, guys, we also dropped some gas back here in France, but the issue is that we've taken all our forces and we've run back to Metz, and the reason being, you know, we can't defend Saint-Mihiel. In fact, Ahriman stated as much, in that it's going to be very tough for us to defend Saint-Mihiel. So we're going to be going to Metz. We're going to go ahead and, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave this area behind. I hope we can retreat effectively. Another thing I hope is that our gas, since we dropped it in this area, is actually going to affect the French. But if they don't attack us, it's quite possible that it's not going to affect them, only if they do attack. So I'm kind of hoping we get attacked, kind of hoping we avoid attack. A little bit of both, to be honest with you. So let's take a look over here, over to our Serbian front, and I'm hoping that pretty soon here, guys, we're going to break through. As you can see, it looks like our Bulgarian armies have already broken through into Serbia, and really it's just a matter of time now. Matter of time of how long it's going to take for them to take over the entire country. But we're also pushing in from the north, and I totally forgot about Albania. I mean, not that it really matters, pretty irrelevant at this point, but it would be cool to see what we do with Albania. And actually, our army here, guys, led by Ritter von Frank, is actually doing pretty well. It's probably the best we've seen this army so far. And I'm just going to look quickly here for who's controlling the regions. We want to find out specifically what the most important regions are. We've got Sarajevo. We've got all of the most important regions. So I guess we actually hold the most important areas here in Serbia. This is really just all about finishing the war and trying to kill as many of the enemy as possible. So I'm going to just really quickly go over here, go to the owner of all regions. And I'm definitely going to break through, maybe go to Niche, and try to take some more of this territory. I mean, why not, right? In fact, we'll go over here where the enemy seems to be. No. Let's follow the rail line. Let's not get reckless. I'll actually head to Valka Plana first, so hopefully we'll take another beautiful little city there. And let's take a look at our Turkish front. We've been doing pretty well on our Turkish front, and now that our Turks are allied with us, we can send our Turks over to this front, guys, over to our Serbian front. Now, would I do it? I'm not sure. We've got a few generals here, by the way. I'm trying to merge together, but we're going to need to bring infantry over here for sure, because right now these generals have no men with which to command. So it's a bit strange here at Constantinople. So we're definitely going to bring reinforcements. There are some reinforcements. There we go. We've got an air flotilla. Looks decent. We have two. 123. Alright, I expected a lot more than that, but you know what, we'll have to accept it at Constantinople. And I'll take a look here and see if we have any other regiments. In fact, we do. As you can see, the Marine Brigade. So we could slowly improve this. The Bosporus forts, there's not really much we could do about them. We do have, actually, a nice little army here, so I'm actually going to send them through. Or a nice little navy, I should say. And try to engage the enemy. Of course, I will take Abdul Pasha, and we will push in the south of Serbia, because why the hell not? Or, you know what, we can actually go over here where the British are. We're going to have to head to Kashar, which is a fort, And I think if we can get there in time, I'm definitely going to try to speed this up. That's really going to help us, because we're going to be able to hold the British over here at Sed el Sur. We're also going to take a look over here, our attack on Alexandria, and I really hope to win. As you guys can see here, we're so close with the Second Army led by Kamal Pasha. So I'm going to try to once again move into Alexandria. It's not going to be easy by any means, but we have a nice little border here in the north that we've taken. As you can see, Damietta, we've taken Port Said. So I think that we are pretty much in control of this area. I'm actually going to take one of our generals and send him down to Suez, and I'm going to take this guy and send him over to Mansoura. I'm hoping that they have enough men to deal with the situation, but you never really know. And overall, this is going to be a very interesting battle, to say the least. Last but not least, we'll jump over to our eastern front, led by Paul von Hindenburg, and he's actually attacking an area known as Wehlau. But now that I see these guys in Lützen, I'm actually thinking I want to attack southwards, or southeast, towards Festung Lützen. So that's actually what I'm going to do. And we're probably going to have to engage an army on the way, but we've done it before, we can do it again. In fact, I'm going to go southwards to Allenstein, because right now I'm much more concerned about them breaking through over here and getting to Danzig than of them breaking through and taking Königsberg. We can deal with Königsberg being lost. It's as sad as that sounds. We also have an army here that's pretty much ready to attack, but he could certainly use some reinforcements, so I'm going to try to build a depot here. If we've already built a depot, then all we're going to do is leave this Austrian army here to sort of regroup. But we haven't, of course, because it's an Austrian army. One thing we will do is go ahead and get some Turkish light infantry, which we're running out of, and we can't. As you can see, we have no money here. We're out of cash, guys. So we either need to get some more cash desperately, or we need to give up, which, of course, we're not going to give up, but we are going to try to gain more cash. So let me jump over here to the diplomatic screen, and even if we can't do it this turn, you know, there's always next turn. A few events typically happen that give us more money as well, and there we go, state funds. So we're definitely going to print state funds. No wonder there were so many problems in terms of inflation in Germany post-war. Totally makes sense, because this is almost sad. We still have a few diplomats to send out, which is interesting. Let me just take a look. It doesn't look like they could be sent anywhere, so we may have exhausted our supply of diplomats. We don't want to declare war. So yeah, we definitely have exhausted our supply of diplomats. We're still sending some to Romania, but as you can see, the Romanians are about to turn to the Entente, guys. We're actually going to have to go to war with the Romanians pretty soon here. I'm just taking a look over here. Looks like Greece is very uninterested in us. And the Americans are actually swinging towards the Entente again. Remember, we were doing really well with the Americans initially, but now they're swinging once again towards the Entente. Initially, they were pro-Central Powers, so things have definitely changed here. Let's hope for the best. So far, it doesn't look good. It looks very much like World War I, which is not what we want. Even though this is World War I, we want to try to reverse it a little bit. But, of course, that's not an option. Not always, anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and end the turn here, guys, and we shall see what happens. Let's do it. Okay, here we go, guys. It looks like actually the Portuguese have sent a few transport ships to northern Belgium. I'm not sure if they're sending troops here, but I would hate to shoot my fellow countrymen. I'm, of course, half American, half Portuguese, so it's not something I'm looking forward to, but the Portuguese have definitely joined the Allies. Alright, let's see. We've got a fleet getting to Flanders. I don't like it, and this is a British fleet, but I see the Portuguese ships in it. I've got a second sense for these things. I could smell the codfish from here. Come on, you bastards. Here we go, guys. So a nice battle in the ocean against the British, and it looks like the Battle of the Channel, a definite victory for us, taking out one of the British battleships, either the Prince of Wales, the Queen, Agamemnon, or Lord Nelson. One of those beautiful ships is going down to Davy Jones' Loka. Of course, we've lost 6 ships, but taking out one enemy battleship, I see that as a major advantage. Of course, battleships are, you know, the tanks of the seas, I guess you could say. Very, very expensive, etc. So taking one down is definitely put a smile on my face. And besides, it's a victory. Alright, here we go. So we're staying in Bruges. I actually hope the enemy will attack us here because we're right now just trying to get that cohesion back, trying to rebuild our forces. Our men are wounded, they're hurt, they're killed from previous battles. We need to refill the lines, guys, and that takes time. Let's hope we get a nice little chunk of change, too. So we need spending money, guys. We really do. So as you guys can see here, I hope with these 2 large naval forces here. We're stopping the enemy. Once again, another German victory. And this is just us trying to destroy all of the ships coming across here. You can see the enemy actually had submarines, but we managed to take them out, taking out 8 enemy ships, taking out an entire destroyer fleet. So we're really trying to stop them from getting across the ocean. Now, this was unfortunately my attempt at attacking Lomé, and it looks like both of us were wiped out, but our Stadtgarrison was wiped out by the Royal Africa Corps. I hope they don't take that out on us and try to take another one of our areas. In fact, I want to move south towards Luanda and possibly hit the Portuguese in the colonial assets where it hurts. All right, here we go, 502. I hope they keep sending transport ships over. In fact, I might send my ship right here, but I think we're in a good position to intercept ships coming across to Calais. But it's a tough fight one way or the other. Right now, Cameroon is the one, I guess you could say, power we have in Africa. Now, as you can see, the French have sent a few troops behind our lines, and I think they're doing this to cut us off. Bastogne and the Ardennes, the Belgians have cut us off, trying to trap our army, I think. And we're going to have to send Max von Hausen out of here to stop these guys, because this is not something I like. He's got to clean up every German mess. Alright, there we go, guys. They attacked. They were forced to. We were trying to retreat across to Metz, and it was, of course, a German defeat, but I think we got most of our army across. As you can see, 368,000 men. They're attacking us with 599,000 guys, and of course, we got some splash damage because of our gas attacks in this region. I'm hoping it's helping, but I hope we can get away from Somiel over to Metz and not lose our whole army. Of course, as you can see here, pretty even casualties on either side. See if that continues. It's going to take them a total of 14 days to cross that river, so they might have a few more battles ahead of them, but I hope it's not too much. Alright, we've also got von Hindenburg taking a totally different pass. I was like, why isn't he attacking Wehlau? And then I remembered, we can't attack Wehlau. We've got to go down south and defend. Okay, so we've gotten to Metz, guys. We can see the army. They're beautiful. That's what I mainly wanted. Was, we had to give up Somiel, but I think Aramon's right. I think if we had stayed there, it would have been a massacre of our soldiers. We can't afford to lose 500,000 men in one day. We just can't. So I think that was the right decision. I hope our gas did some pretty good damage here, though. Another battle here, and this time it was a German victory once again. Even though we lost men, apparently we managed to keep these guys back. That's good. I'm trying to see if they have any transport squadron, but they don't. They just have torpedo boats. I want to take out their transport squadrons. That's what I'm mostly focused on. But obviously they don't want me to, so they're going to try to engage me in any way they see fit. German defeat, unfortunately, guys. There we go, getting 10 ships taken out. Finally, the British got one up on us. And not a bad fight. Sir Herbert Heath there, getting a victory. Over here in Serbia, not much is happening. In fact, the Serbs are pulling back even closer to the center of the country. So they're really trying to get away from our armies. My main concern, though, is Belgium right now. And here we go, guys. The only thing I'm going to be doing this turn, we can see, first of all, that the Russians are really piling on this border. Look at this. This is scary. So one thing I'm going to actually do is get back to Chernovich. This is where we started with our Austro-Hungarians. Look how far we've come. Not very. Not nearly as impressive as our German front. And I'm just going to jump over here quickly and get von Hausen to deal with these bastard renegades. In fact, now that we've got our guys beyond the lines, well, I want to keep them at Metz, to be honest with you. I really want to keep them at Metz because they can defend pretty well here. But we do have another army here, Ruprecht army. And I'm going to send the Ruprecht army up towards Bastogne. and hopefully we can send them by Tron. Yes, glory. And we'll also take Max von Hausen, and I'm actually going to launch an attack, believe it or not. I'm sick of this. I'm charging through. So we're going to go ahead, and no, I never do Archangel. Of course not. Sleep? That's for the dead. We're going to cut through, and I'm going to try to get to Maberge. So the enemy's going to try to trick us, essentially, and cut through our lines. We're going to do the same to them, and I'm hoping this is going to work. Now, let's take a look at Karl von Bülow. It doesn't look like he's getting very many reinforcements here. It's a small gap, but he should be getting some. So maybe we need to go ahead and move towards Ypres, or at least move towards this area right here, and get rid of some more Belgians. I hope so anyway. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, as always, and have an awesome, awesome day.